Hello and welcome to India Today. I am Sanjay Ponnappa and I just completed watching the latest Bollywood film Happy Patel Khatarnak Jasoos. The film stars Veerdas, is written by Veerdas, is directed by Veerdas and is produced by Aamir Khan. Experience of the film. It was a good film. It was funny, it was silly, it was stupid, but at the same time it was intelligent with its writing and there was a lot of meta commentary also going on in the background. The announcement it came, it was so fresh, it created a lot of buzz. But the same buzz did not follow with its trailer. Probably most people aren't even, aware that this film has already released in theaters. It was somewhat on the silent note that the film was arriving. Getting back into the review, first of all, before we talk about the silliness, before we talk about the fun while watching the film and all of it, the writing. Like I said earlier, a more subtle name for this genre would be a no-brainer comedy entertainer, but at the end of the day, it is a stupid film. As in, the genre is stupid. But what's really good about it is that it is brilliantly stupid. To elaborate further, the writing in the film is, something that you might see in Veer Das's stand-up acts where you can see him writing all these jokes under which there is a lot of brilliant philosophy of sorts that he's talking about. Similarly, in this film there are a lot of jokes. The characters are borderline dimwits, but at the end of the day what they are doing and what they are talking about has a sort of a meaning which is deeper than just the joke and the giggle. Not all of it, of course, there's a lot of these really dumb jokes as well, but the way it is crafted, the situations in which it comes, and the crispness with which it comes and goes, and then we are on to the next thing, makes the film really engaging. What makes it stand apart from the other recent comedy films we've seen in Bollywood or otherwise throughout Indian cinema as well is that it in a way also takes responsibility for the kind of jokes it's making. It is satirical, it is woke as well, but also fits into the traditional mode of storytelling. For example, alongside Veer Das's character, who is Happy Patel, there is Geet, a funny Punjabi character wearing a pagdi. The heroine, played by Mithila Palkar, is a dancer who sort of has only one step and she is performing with that while also getting booed but doesn't care about it because dancing gives her azadi. And there's a 16-year-old techie genius who kinda comes up with all the solutions for all of their problems. The villain, I'm not even going to say antagonist, the villain, played by Mona Singh, is presented in a typical yet unique manner. Why I say typical, the background music that plays when she enters, the kind of intensity she has, the way everybody is scared of her is quite typical. But what is different is she's running around the town feeding everybody cutlets, is quite proud of her identity as a chef who loves Sanjeev Kapoor. Now, why am I mentioning all these characters? It is because this film doesn't solely rest on Veer Das's comic timing, but also builds on all these characters and what they bring to the table as important characters in the film. And it's not even just them. Really minute characters like this one glowing guy by the end of the film because people are addicted to the fairness of one's skin in India. And then there is these three really beautiful singers in the film who are used for torture when push comes to shove. And similarly, there are a lot of these instances where characters come and go but also bring a lot of fun and jokes with them. Now, coming back to Veer Das and his performance, it was a really good performance. It's not about, the acting in it. It's about the way, it's about his comic timing. It's about the way he presents his fish out of the pond kind of character played by Happy Patel, who is a British citizen, who is a chef, who is sort of an agent, who is almost an Indian, but is out of his comfort zone. He's somebody who didn't even know Hindi before coming to India. The satire is there, it is quite caricaturish as well, but at the same time it is also fun. And given that the film is rated A, they didn't have to hold back with the dialogues. And when a film is rated A in India, there's a lot of attention given to what the characters are speaking, how they are speaking, and how many cuss words they can use, what is the line drawn between cuss words that can be used on screen and that can't be used on screen. But in this film, there are quite a few instances where these words are used, but the innuendo is such that it is harmless, funny, but also, wo dimag ka batti jal jata hai at that point. The music in the film is also really good. It is used quite efficiently, especially when it comes to this genre. the song between the two lead pair where it's all about the slapping and how they romanticize it is also there. Kind of satirical. It does commentate on a lot of other songs as well. At the same time, there is this other song which I really liked where while Mithila is getting booed, or while Rupa, the character, is getting booed for her, two-step dance performance, Happy gets on stage, asks her to sit down, and starts dancing. He becomes the item number of the film. The lyrics of the song is also quite about that, where it speaks about, you wait, I will dance for everybody. I can also dance, I can also do all those moves. You don't need to be the only one who is doing that. You don't need to dance for me. Let me dance for you. Which is, like I said earlier, a little woke, a little stereotypical, but fun on a whole. From the technical departments, the editing really stood out for me. It made the film very crisp. The 2-hour runtime was absolutely justified. Probably it was, even if it was a little longer, it might have felt like a drag, because the film is basically, the foundation of the film is jokes, and not all jokes land for everybody. So it is bound to have. But is the film absolutely perfect? It is fun enough for you to not think about all these things, but when and if you do, it is given that given all the collaborations, you are bound to think about Delhi Belly, a little bit about Go Goa Gone as well probably, and all the other films which fall under this particular genre. Again, this film as well is one where logic takes the backseat, and it doesn't, all situation, not all decisions are taken with logic in the film. There are several moments in the film where you feel like, okay, just for the sake of moving forward, is this move just conveniently being made so that we can get to that whole scene where the comedy is really good. Veerdas's training is all about Bollywood, is all about the British perspective of what India is like and what you need to have to be prepared to handle the Indian crowd here. It might be funny, but at the same time, MI7's training can't be so simple that it's all about the biryani and Bollywood films and not even little bit about spycraft. So at a point when Veerdas just very naively walks into the villain's lair and just asks for the missing person, it feels like, okay, Happy Patel, who is brought up by two very decorated spies of MI7, who has failed 7 times in the exam but has still prepared 7 times for the exam, cannot be so naive that he will simply just walk into the lair and ask for this missing person and not think there's going to be any repercussions. With that example, if you look beyond the jokes, beyond all the fun, there might be a few plot holes that you spot there. But overall, when it comes to a film like this, it is all about sitting there in the theaters in abandon, not thinking a lot, just going with the flow, listening to all the dialogue, seeing all the comedy of errors and having a good time. So does Happy Patel serve you a good time? Yes, he does for sure. Well, that was my review for the film Happy Patel Khatarnak Jasoos. If you watched the film, what is your opinion? Mention that in the comment section below. Also, I have a question for you. This whole genre, the stupid movies genre, what is your favorite film in that? Do mention that in the comment section. With that, I am Sanjay Ponnappa and you're watching India Today.